Ultimately, all paths lead back to their origins. For Kendrick Lamar, one of those paths leads directly to the south side of Chicago. He didn't need to elaborate much for it to resonate, just a few impactful words during his performance at Soldier Field. "This is my second hometown, make some noise." The already energized crowd erupted in response. This was not just another stop on the Grand National Tour, it was deeply personal. Welcome to celebrity rap life, where the red carpets never roll up and the spotlight never fades. The rewards are legendary. Because in celebrity rap life, every downfall can become a comeback, and every headline tells a deeper story. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of what's coming next. To the world, Kendrick Lamar is known as the son of Compton, where his narrative was formed, his lyrics honed, and where his heart still beats the strongest. However, Chicago is not merely a side note in his story, it is a fundamental part of his roots. His parents left Chicago in pursuit of a safer life, bringing with them the resilience, struggles, and aspirations of the South Side. It is from this legacy that Kendrick's artistry emerged, blending survival with poetry that ultimately evolved into Pulitzer-winning storytelling. So when Kendrick arrived at Soldier Field in his custom Buick Grand National Experimental, an all-black muscle car once owned by his father and now reimagined as a symbol of legacy, strength, and renewal, it was more than just a spectacle. It was a moment of coming full circle, a return to his origins, a homecoming shrouded in smoke, fire, and unwavering truth. The GNX is not merely a flashy centerpiece, it represents something significant. Released in 1987, the year Kendrick was born, it reflects the very car his father drove him home from the hospital in. Kendrick sought out one of the rare models, and it has appeared frequently this year, from the Super Bowl halftime show to the stage of this extensive tour. Like his music, it is sleek, powerful, and impossible to overlook. This symbolism permeates every aspect of the Grand National Tour. It's evident in the set design, steel gray, militaristic, and shadowy. It's reflected in the structure, 9 acts, over 50 songs, and nearly 4 hours of relentless expression. And it's present in the energy, defiant, spiritual, and profoundly introspective. The GNX album and tour are more about declaration than nostalgia. Kendrick isn't merely celebrating success, he's taking stock of his legacy, the system, the culture, and who remains standing. But Kendrick doesn't perform alone. His longtime friend and creative collaborator, SZA, shares the stage, creating what may be one of the most cohesive co-headlining rap/R&B experiences ever. Their connection dates back over a decade, long before either became widely recognized, to when SZA was just a fan selling merchandise at one of Kendrick's New York shows. That bond eventually led her to Top Dog Entertainment, where both artists grew under the same label, shaping the sound of a generation. At Soldier Field, their chemistry unfolded like a meticulously arranged symphony. Rather than following a traditional opener-headliner structure, the two artists alternated their performances, exchanging energy and tone like co-narrators of a shared narrative. Kendrick would deliver powerful tracks like Mad City or DNA, while SZA would float in with ethereal versions of songs like Good Days or Love Language. He brought intensity and grit, while she offered softness and mystery. Together, they struck a balance between honesty and sensitivity, anguish and strength. The stage presented a story of contrasts. Kendrick's setup resembled a stark battlefield, featuring fireballs and a lineup of dancer soldiers moving in unison like revolutionaries. His performances were raw and charged, creating a dreamlike representation of street life. When he performed Not Like Us, his notorious diss track, the vibe shifted from concert to a declaration of war, with each lyric striking like lightning across the stadium. In contrast, SZA enveloped her segment in shades of green. Her performance was lush, floral, and mesmerizing, focusing more on growth than conflict. A memorable moment occurred during her rendition of Kill Bill, where dancers dressed as praying mantises engaged in a surreal battle, resembling lovers in a twisted feud. Following this, a montage depicted SZA's transformation, emerging from a cocoon, reborn, defiantly raising her middle finger to the sky like a queen unapologetic about her survival. However, the most powerful moment of the night came when they united for All the Stars, their duet from the Black Panther soundtrack. Positioned at opposite ends of the stadium, they were elevated above the crowd like twin beacons, as the audience illuminated the night with their phones. It was cinematic, but more importantly, it symbolized a call and response of Black excellence, with two artists from different realms singing the same truth. All the stars epitomized the convergence of their creative journeys. Kendrick's intensity and SZA's soothing touch, crafted into something mainstream yet subtly rebellious. On the Grand National Tour, the song became a banner representing everything they've built together over the years, a bond that transcends friendship and music, creating a thriving ecosystem. Naturally, no Kendrick Lamar show in 2025 would be complete without addressing the looming presence of Drake. Kendrick didn't shy away from this, delivering a fiery rendition of Like That, a track that reignited their feud. The audience quickly picked up on the underlying message. Then came the unexpected twist. SZA followed with a cover of Drake's Rich Baby Daddy, dripping with irony and just enough shade to make her point clear. But Kendrick wasn't finished. Throughout the show, he included satirical deposition videos, sharp, humorous, and pointedly directed at Drake's ongoing lawsuit accusing Kendrick of defamation. You said you wanted the party to die. Was that a metaphor or were you being serious? An off-screen voice posed a question in one segment, prompting Kendrick to gaze directly into the camera and respond, however you want to interpret it. This was more than mere entertainment. It was a dynamic form of performance art, a legal roast masquerading as tour content. In the court of public opinion, Kendrick emerged victorious, holding the gavel. Beyond the theatrics, the Grand National Tour is also making history. On its opening night in Minneapolis, Kendrick became the first rapper to earn over $9 million from a single concert, and those figures have only increased since then. Just before the show in Chicago, Kendrick and SZA's latest track, Luther, set a record for the longest-running #1 on the Billboard R&B/hip-hop songs chart this year. When they performed it at Soldier Field, it transcended being just another song. It felt like a crowning moment. They concluded the evening as they started it, together. After nearly 4 hours filled with music, commentary, poetry, and protest, Kendrick and SZA made one last appearance in the GNX. The car roared to life, the lights dimmed, and without a word, they disappeared into the night, moving on to the next city, the next audience, the next experience. Yet, they left behind an electric energy, a reminder that this tour is about more than just music. It's about memory, legacy, and truth. The Grand National Tour is not just a display of two of today's most talented artists. It serves as a living archive. It showcases what occurs when talent aligns with purpose, when heritage meets vision, and when pain transforms into power. Kendrick Lamar didn't simply come to Chicago to perform. He came to pay tribute to his roots, to reclaim the narrative, and to continue forging connections between the past, present, and future. For one night, Soldier Field transformed into more than just a stadium. It became a cathedral, a battleground, a time machine, a home. As the GNX drove into the tunnel, it was evident that this journey is far from finished. This story is far from over, and the truth is still unfolding. I want to hear what you think. Drop your take in the comments. And if you don't want to miss the next twist, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of what's coming next.